So something has gone badly wrong in this country. This country has pretty much lost control of everything. Control of its borders, control of its streets, control of its institutions. There was a time when we expected competence from those who governed us. Remember that? We assumed that if something went wrong or kept going wrong, it would be corrected, that lessons would be learned, that responsibility meant something. You know, you could trust that decisions were being made by the so-called adults in the room who understood the seriousness of public duty, safety. Things weren't perfect, but there was some sense of order. There was confidence. That trust has pretty much gone now. We no longer believe our leaders are capable of fixing anything. And worse, I don't even think that they themselves seem to believe it either. Everything is so reactive now. Every crisis, you just get statements, apologies, and then the same thing happens a few months later. There's no competency, no vision, just constant damage control. The UK asylum system has become a portrait of national dysfunction. We are spending billions housing people in temporary accommodation, housing people in hotels, paying for endless administration, bureaucracy, funding random perks for asylum seekers, legal appeals. It all adds up. And yet somehow there is never enough money or will to build an orderly system that works. It's all just chaotic now. And there are serious issues we need to talk about when it comes to migrant crime and disorder. This year alone, hundreds of those housed at public expense have been charged with serious crimes, robberies, assaults, even sexual assaults. And the true number of these crimes could be even higher, but we won't know since the Home Office refuses to cooperate with the public and be transparent about this issue. It's just shocking. For example, we've just been dealing with the most recent cock-up, an Ethiopian man who arrived in Britain by a small boat and was later granted temporary accommodation in a hotel. He sexually assaulted a minor and he was sentenced to prison. But guess what? He was then mistakenly freed. Police spent days and resources searching for him before they recaptured him. And then there was this other tragedy. A 49-year-old man fatally stabbed in West London. The suspect, a 22-year-old Afghan national who arrived in the UK via lorry in 2020 and was granted asylum in 2022. Then 10 days ago, at the time of this recording, another incident involved a Sudanese national who singled out a young woman who had been working at the hotel that was housing asylum seekers in Walsall, where he had been staying. He stabbed her 23 times. So guys, we granted someone an opportunity for a better life just for that person to take an innocent one away. It's just a slap in the face, really, because there's no gratitude. Then there was that incident where an asylum seeker from North Africa, he chased hotel staff with a knife because he was not happy about the food that he was being served at the accommodation. So across the asylum accommodation system, more than 200 residents have been charged with violent offences, sexual offences, assault, grievous bodily harm, robbery, domestic assault, while waiting for the asylum cases to be processed. Meanwhile, thousands are still arriving in small boats, mostly from Albania, Afghanistan, Iran, Eritrea, Sudan, despite repeated government pledges to stop the crossings. Like, what are we doing here? The system is not just overwhelmed, it's just directionless at this point. It's broken. It's not working. The asylum system has turned into a free-for-all. And it's not just about money anymore. It's about attitude, about what this country now represents to the people coming here. A lot of them don't see Britain as a place to respect, quite frankly. Sorry, but they see it as a place to take advantage of. When you're given safety, food, shelter, things that millions of people around the world can only dream of, things people in this country can only dream of, you have a duty to behave. That is basic decency. You adapt to the laws, to the values of the country that took you in. You don't come here and start acting like you own the place or like the rules don't apply to you. And yes, we have to be honest. Some of these men are coming from places where women are treated like property, where they're never seen in public, or if they're seen in public, they need to be accompanied with a man. So these people are bringing this type of mindset with them. They don't know how to behave around women. I don't really care how that sounds. That is the truth. They don't respect the boundaries because really in their minds, those boundaries never existed. They never learned about them. That is the truth. I'm not saying this because they're less than, no, but because of what they were exposed to or not exposed to in their own cultures. If you're given refuge in a civilized country, you are expected to act in a civilized way. Freedom comes with responsibility. Hospitality comes with expectation. When you are literally handed everything on a platter like some of these people are, the least you can do is behave. Show some respect. Control yourself. Remember that you are a guest. You don't take advantage of the people who took you in. You don't treat women like they don't matter. That is the problem. Too many people are coming here with the wrong attitude, and too many in power are too cowardly to confront it. We've created a country where people can take everything and give nothing back, or worse, they just add to all the problems. But don't worry, guys, at least we are compassionate. Of course. Okay, usual disclaimer. It's not all asylum seekers, fine, but it's probably enough so that a country can say, actually, no more. Let's have a time out. Let's stop pretending that we can take in the whole world when we can't even keep order at home. I've already shared what I think about Britain trying to house the whole world. So let's take a breath, fix what's broken, get this house in order before inviting anyone else in. Because right now, billions spent every year just trying to contain the mess. Money that could be used to rebuild towns, support the elderly, improve hospitals, fix schools, fund the police, proper policing, good policing, non-politicized policing. Get some basic order on our streets. Anyway, things just feel hopeless. You can see the decline in real time, the disorder, the waste, the double standards, and it's all happening in plain sight. Everyone can see it. But if you try to talk about it, if you dare to say what you're actually thinking, you're instantly branded as a bigot or a troublemaker. It's easier for those in charge to attack the people pointing out the problems than to fix the problems themselves. They will burn political energy trying to police language, to chase, tackling Islamophobia, to lecture ordinary people about tolerance, anything to avoid facing the reality that the country is falling apart under their watch. So this is where we are. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's getting depressing, honestly. People act like we're exaggerating, and you know what? It's that exact complacency, that shrugging it off, that pretending that everything is fine or not as bad or it's not really happening. This is the exact kind of thinking that has got us here in the first place.